Thank you for joining Wars of the Roses. And this is Mexico from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry by Albert G. Mackey. Mexico. The precise date of the first appearance of organized masonry in Mexico is unknown, but there is evidence that it existed there prior to the establishment of the Republic in 1824. It was introduced by the civil and military officers of the monarchy and was principally confined to Europeans and their immediate descendants. The working was in the Scottish Rite, which was propagated with much circumspection and reserve. In 1825, Joel R. Poinsett, who had been sent to Mexico as resident minister by the United States, disseminated among the Mexicans who were his friends an attachment for York Masonry, so that in the same year authority was obtained from the Grand Lodge of New York for the establishment of 3 lodges in the city of Mexico. The Grand Lodge was organized, and Jose Ignacio Esteva elected the first Grand Master. Soon afterwards, a Grand Chapter was established, and Masonry extended with such rapidity that by the end of the year 1826, there were more than 25 lodges in the country, there being one at least in the capital of each of the states which composed the Federation. Politics seem, however, from the first, to have intruded into the Masonic temples, and this at length excited the suspicions of the government, by whom all secret societies were proscribed. Masonry continued to be practiced for a few years in secret, but gradually disappeared. But Masonry is again in a prosperous condition, and between 20 and 30 lodges are now in operation under the obedience of the Supreme Council of Mexico, which was established in 1860 by authority of the Supreme Council at Charleston, SC. The first recorded Masonic Lodge in Mexico was probably Arquitectura Moral, which met in Mexico City as early as 1806. The Scottish Rite was introduced about 4 years later, and in 1813 a Grand Lodge was established with Don Felipe Martinez Aragon as Grand Master. About 1824, the York Rite was brought into the territory by the American ambassador, Brother Joel R. Poinsett, who procured a charter for a lodge through the Grand Lodge of New York. Brother Mackey states that 3 lodges were opened in the year 1825, and that they established a Grand Lodge of the York Rite. The 2 systems existing side by side were the cause of much bitterness and political strife, and in 1830, some of the leading brethren of both rites planned to bring about more peaceful conditions by forming a 3rd rite, consisting of 9 degrees and composed of both York and Scottish Rite Freemasons. A Grand Orient was formed with a National Grand Lodge attached. From 1833 to 1863, Freemasonry, at any rate as far as the activities of the grand bodies were concerned, was dormant. In 1859, Brother Lafond de Ladeba had been sent by authority of Brother Albert Pike to organize Freemasonry in Mexico, but instead of opening a Grand Lodge of symbolic Freemasonry as expected, he constituted a Supreme Council. In 1858, the Supreme Councils were fused with the National Grand Lodge. In 1872, dissension again arose. Grand Lodges were probably organized at the time by lodges under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Council. A central Grand Lodge was formed at Veracruz, but the Supreme Council did not give up its authority. There were 7 Grand Lodges in Mexico, and the Grand Lodge of Colon, regarding Mexico as unoccupied territory, proceeded to form 3 lodges, which in January 1883 established at Veracruz the Mexican Grand Lodge. On June 25th the same year, 12 lodges met and established a Grand Lodge of the Federal District of Mexico. According to Brother Oliver Day Street's report on correspondence made in 1922 to the Grand Lodge of Alabama, in 1882, all masonry of the craft, symbolic or blue degrees, except possibly a few lodges of the old Mexican National Rite, had fallen under the control of Scottish Rite bodies, of which there were at least 3 contending with each other for supremacy. In February 1890 was established the Grandietta Symbolica, which was to be a central governing body for the entire Republic. It started well and had at one time 17 of the state Grand Lodges under its control. In April 1901 it was disbanded and the Grand Lodges became independent. Brother Street remarks, "Our information is that at present there are, or recently were, 4 Grand Lodges in the Federal District, each claiming to be sovereign and independent, and each exercising jurisdiction not only in the district but in several states." Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe and comment, and if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Roses. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.